All right. I'm back. Brothers, man, I just took a break. I took a break for a minute. Just wanted to get away from videos for a second. Even when I do them the way I do them, which is just, I don't know, haphazard, as lazy as I can possibly make them, as little energy invested in preparation and stuff as I can make them. Videos still take a lot of your time to sit there and edit and crap. And editing's like a love-hate thing. I want to get better at it, but I also hate it because, man, it takes for freaking ever. And I'm, I know you get better at it and faster at it as you go, but it's taking me a minute. It's taking me a minute to learn how to make it faster. But so I took a break from the videos. I didn't stop the hobby. I kept enjoying the hobby. I pivoted a little bit. I decided just to have some fun and not worry about building things for other people. Not worry about building something because I want to use it for work or something like that. I just wanted to just have some fun. And so that's what I did. I took a break and I just had some fun. And I don't know, I guess maybe a couple months or whatever. I finished up on some things and I did some things and updated some things, and I'm going to share those with you. Some of the things that I've done is I'm at the tail end of my CNC machine. Still got a lot to learn, but I got my CNC machine set up. I've done some test cuts and stuff. I'm learning next thing I'm learning right now is nesting. I got my design. I got my pass and everything set up for the design. And so I did my test cuts and worked out well. Now I need to make copies of that, and I need to. So it's fixing to cut some arms. I don't know if you can see it, but that X8 up there. I want to cut some arms that are a few millimeters longer, so I can rock it with 6-inch props, so that the blades don't hit the black magic when it's mounted, and they do. So I'm gonna make some blades that are a little bit longer. So I finally got that down, and now I need to make 3 more copies of that, and I need to nest them. I finally figured out what the term is, nesting, and I guess it's a complicated copy paste, but I need to alternate the arms one direction so I can maximize my efficiency on the carbon fiber plate. And then I'll be at the point of actually putting a blade to the carbon fiber. And I'm excited. I can't wait to get there. My PC died on me, so I had to get another PC in there. So that delayed me a couple weeks. But got that all ironed out. Now I'll show you some videos here and stuff in a minute. I'll probably overlay them over this or something like that. I don't know. Whatever's the easiest and quickest. Because like I said, I do not prep for videos. I just turn it on and I just kind of shoot from the hip. And sometimes they're better than others, and they're all rough. But it's just my hobby. All right. But a few things I'm going to share with you, things I've been working on for those that are interested in kind of tagging along. So there's the CNC. You can't see it. So we're going to talk about this pole is what I've been using for a while to snag drones out of the trees. I used to have a drone saver. That sucker didn't last me very well. So I've been using that pole, and I think Alan Abernathy posted this in Beginner 2 Facebook group. So this pole just come in. I'm fixing to show that to y'all. I don't know what it looks like, but from the images, it looks better than the drone saver and more convenient than that painter's pole. Excuse me. And we'll talk about that. I don't think you can see it because it's hidden back here, but I've got my Atomrc Dolphin. Here, let me show that to you real quick. Oh, real quick. Happy Father's Day, everybody. it's Father's Day 2025, and I'm chilling in my pajamas all day. After this, I'm gonna go have me a steak. I just finished. Y'all don't see it. You probably can't see it up there, but I'll show it to you in a second. I just finished a new build for myself. Just wanted to have some fun. Figured I'd knock this video out before I go and feed my ass a steak and celebrate Father's Day. And so all you dads out there and all you single dads out there playing double duty, props to you. Y'all have a good day. Y'all are important. You're doing the right thing. Keep doing. Dads are important. But let me show you this dolphin real quick. So, got her done. Finally got her done. Flown it 3 times. Flown it 3 times so far. I nailed the auto launch settings. Trying to get it tuned in. The auto tune. Struggling there. There's something I'm not quite understanding. I've got an acro, get an auto tune, disarm when I land. It's still, maybe that's a wing because the bigger and the wind messes with them much. I don't know how smooth the wing's supposed to fly. Because while it's flying, it's still doing this even when I've got it in auto tune and I'm banging the sticks left and right and stuff like that. So I'm playing with that. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell do you land one of these things? Because I mean, it's so far 3 flights. All this is a crash landing for me. I don't know. I'm gonna keep at it though until I figure it out. We're gonna talk about this new little tool. Let me see, that I got. Tell you my experience on it. And so you put a quad here and you can test indoors, possibly some PID tuning indoors, but you can do some testing indoors with this. So if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's cold, if it's super hot, what have you, you can strap your drone on here. You want to give it a throttle limit so that it didn't just take off with you. If it freaks out or you give it too much, if you get too much throttle indoors, but this might be promising. I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit. My Quadmula Siren F5 S2 build that I just did, and Cosmo streamer. So playing around with 3 more options for the Cosmo streamer. Everything from Raspberry Pi Zero. I've updated it from my G2s, which use this mount, which is basically it just slid right over the battery, and just like that, voila, it'd be mounted on the side of my goggles. So I updated it for the G3s. I had to change the mounting design a little bit, so now it clips over the band. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I found out there, and then a little bit about this. This is my little 3-inch version that I made. XT60 barrel plug. Got a $1/4 down here on the bottom, just like before, and I put these little bumpers on it so that it's got a little protection, whatever. But we'll talk about that a little bit too. And I plan on doing on these two Cosmo streamer options. I'll plan on doing another little video on how to build those. Yeah, that's the right way. How to build those and share that with y'all so that y'all can build them yourself, or you can pay me to do it for you, like some folks do. So So first things first. So, well, I mean, we've already talked about the CNC. I'll throw you some videos in there and stuff like that. I think I've taken some with my phone or whatever. Let's talk about my new little build that I'm proud of. So like I said, finish this today. I made a decision. I want to finish this before I leave to go eat a steak. But let's see. 04 Pro, and you can tell the texture that everybody does smooth prints. I mean, that's all I've ever done with smooth prints, and I just wanted to change something up. So I used the fuzzy skin on this one. You can see it on the. See if I can see if we can get it on the arms. Oh, a little bit too close. Oop, oop. I did it on the arms. I don't know. I just wanted to do something different, give it a little texture. Did it on the you can see right here on the right there we go. Right here you can see it on the caps. Let me try to switch overhead. All right, maybe that's a little bit better picture. You can see it. You can see back here on the tail. It just changed it up a little bit. I just want something different. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna say I really do like it. Maybe a battery pad because they forgot to include one of these. I got 2 of these frames, and one frame came with the battery pad, one didn't. And so I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and make me a battery pad. I know TPU is not very sticky, for battery pads, but that's why I put these holes. And you can't, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but inside of these, they're slightly raised up. It's basically E6000 each one of those holes. And E6000 is grippy on batteries. And then that's going to compress down and it's not going to go anywhere. I've used E6000 this way before. Usually what I'll do is without one of these battery pads, I'll just put E6000 on the raw frame itself and let it dry, and that becomes my battery pad, and it's clear. At first it's clear, then it starts getting all beat up and stuff, and you just pull it off and put new E6000 on it. So if you ever lose a battery pad or something, E6000 is great. I mean, that's I use it for all kinds of stuff. And you can see I've got, oh, I'm going to have to work on that. You can see I got this just to protect the wire. I like to separate the, let's see. I like to keep the wires from the VTX and the receiver. I like to keep the wires away from the FC, so I usually print off one of these little separators that I can put down. The wires run underneath it, and so there's downward pressure on the wires to keep them away from the FC. And for weight, it's just got my logo all through, repeatedly all throughout it. That way, airflow cuts weight and stuff like that. But it just kind of helps for wire management. Maybe you can see there. You can see the wires come out from underneath it. And so it keeps about a millimeter space between the flight controller and the wires. And you can see I did a little texture thing on these little these little nut things that come with the deal. Of course, I had to do a little bling and do me a little logo on the USB-C plug. But there she is. And 388 grams, and should be a nice little ripper. So I finished that today. And tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to give it a test rip. Let's talk about this. And so I'm surprisingly having a lot more fun with this thing. I got some mud on the here. I'm surprisingly having more fun with this than I thought. when I'm out flying up in the air, it's not as fun as a quad, obviously, because I mean, you don't really fly through obstacles and stuff, especially right now. This is my third flight, still trying to get it flying right, and still trying to figure out how to land or whatever. And so, like I said, when I'm up there and I got a bank or whatever, the wind may push it, and it's just kind of doing all this kind of stuff. So it's not pleasant like it is for a quad. I'm assuming that's my tune. And so I keep trying to do the auto tune, and it just, the last time I flew it, it seemed to never get any better. So I don't know how auto tune works. Does it just get you close, get you in the ballpark, and then it stops, and then you have to tune it the rest of the way, or will it tune it to the perfect point? I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I'm learning. This is a print I found online. Sweet little print. I like it. This is Painter's 360's little latch. This one I've customized here. Come on. That's the internal. It's got the 04 there in the nose. I went to the Emax 2807, 1500 kV back here, and I extended out because I plan to run this with 6S 2200 mil. I got a 5S 2200 mil in here right now, but I'm gonna run it with the 6S once I kind of figure if it's the lighter, the easier the crashes are, but we'll see. A little bit of a bird's nest in here, but that's okay. I can't quite figure out how to get this wood stuff out in order for me to do any customization or whatever. And it's my first one, and I'm just trying to get it up and going. But made these little, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, there you go. I made these mounts, and so the antennas can rotate and they kind of lock in place. GPS, added a GPS mate, upgraded the GPS to a Flyaboo, upgraded the ESC to a Reaper 80 amp ESC, because once I get comfortable and know what I'm doing, I want it to be a speed demon. I want it to haul butt, because I just kind of feel like it's, I mean, so far I'm not fully understanding the draw. I'm enjoying the build. I'm enjoying the build and the learning something new. I'm not necessarily enjoying the flying. Like I said, it's not flying all that great yet, so that's probably part of it. But I'm gonna keep tinkering with it. I wanna once I learn it, then I can decide if I want to keep on or not. But I would say everybody ought to try one, because it is kind of interesting to learn a new aspect of this hobby. And Conrad Ferrati gave me the idea, gave me the desire to do that, because when we were having our talk on our chat on FPV is Life, you know, he piqued my interest and intrigued me on a wing. So I'm doing it. I'm enjoying it. We'll see if that's something I'll stick with for long term. Okay. This is from, what's this company called? This is from 3D Flight Lab. Let me see if I can get in here a little bit closer. Yeah, okay. So you can get it, you can buy this pre-built, or you can get it as a kit like I did. Get it as a kit, it's almost $200, and I'm going to do a video on this, because I've got me kind of building it and kind of some of the ins and outs of that build. But real quick, basically it comes disassembled Many of the parts still had uh, filament supports attached, and you had to take the filament supports. But you have to assemble it, starting from the bottom. There's a lot of heat inserts that you have to insert with your iron before you can build each segment. That gets a little bit old. I had some issues with my first one. Follow the instructions. I try to put every heat sink in the properly in each hole as I could. But when I got it all assembled, everything was assembled right. One side would hit here while the other side would float freely, but one side would hit. And there was some play. You can see that play right there, right? Well, I don't think that's really good. Definitely not if you're going to try and do some sort of bass tune on something, what have you. But for some reason, mine was hitting on one side and not on the other. And I tried all kinds of things and couldn't get it. So the gentleman that is the designer and stuff like that, by the way, his PDF, it's top notch. I mean, Lego would be impressed with this guy's step-by-step instructions, PDF and stuff. He's really done a good job at making everything professional. The quality of the prints are great. Like I said, being that it was almost $200, I would have liked all of the support material to have been removed before it was shipped to me. It'd been nice to have had the heat inserts inserted, the threaded heat inserts inserted before I got it. But it's a kit. That's part of the thing. That might be why it was hitting and it wasn't operating well. It may be better for them to go ahead and put those in themselves versus letting the customer. I don't know. It may not have been me. Not sure. But reached out to them, showed them pictures and stuff like that. They did find some issues with their design. They were short a couple hardware pieces. Thankfully, we're in the hobby. We typically have additional screws and stuff. I did have to order some more inserts because I was missing 2 heat inserts and 1 M3 bolt, which I had the screw, but I didn't have the inserts, not this size. Me and another guy both had the same issue. But when I showed them what was going on with mine, they went back and looked at the design, and there was some conversion issues from their design over to bamboo or something. So they made some updates. And if you do the kit, if you buy anything like that, you get the STL files included. You can download them. You get lifetime updates of those STL files. So if there's ever an update, they push it out and you can go download the updated STL files. So you can build yourself another one of these if you want to. I don't know why, unless you just broke it, but you could just replace the parts. But he sent me new parts. I installed them. It was better, but it was still hitting. And it was better, barely making contact, but as soon as I put my drone on here, that weight coming down, it was hitting and it wouldn't work. So he sent me this one. He built it himself, disassembled it as far as like he took the base from this and put these in a box and shipped those to me. And this is it. And as you can see, I mean, it clears. I put a drone on it, and it clears just fine with the weight. And I set mine back so he can take a look at it and decide if it's user error or if it's design error. So I'm gonna play around with this, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions. One thing that worries me is when you have weight. There can be when it's like this and it's holding its position because it's spinning. It can. I've seen it do this job, and like, well, that kills any chances of trying to do a tune. It doesn't happen all the time, it's definitely pilot induced, but it does happen. So if that happens, you have to start all over. So I'm going to play with it and see if I can find some best practices for me on how I can use this to potentially get some black box data. But if anything, whenever I got a new build, if it's wet and stuff like that, I can sit there and reduce the motor thrust and strap it on here and do my arming and all that good stuff and see what other uses I can find out of it. But when I saw this, I knew I had to get one because I was interested. I've seen them using them in Ukraine, and I always thought, well, what a great idea. Of course, Ukraines are made out of metal. They're much more sturdy. 3D print is probably not the ideal for this, but we will see. I'm still got an open mind. You can buy a carbon version where all of these cross supports are carbon fiber, and so I've got those pieces coming in. I'm going to replace these bars with carbon fiber and see if that provides some rigidity, some resistance to pilot error, and try maybe avoids some bouncing or whatever. But I'm gonna keep playing with that, and one day I will tell you yay or nay on it. But we all just like to play around in this hobby, and it was another cool looking toy, so I had to get it, and I thought maybe some of y'all would be interested too. All right, so the other thing, Cosmo streamer. Yes. Okay. So like I said, on this one, this 3-inch, I'm gonna do a video on it, and I'll do a build video, and I'll put links and everything like that if you want to build one of these. This is a really good, less expensive way than the 7-inch, and it's portable. It's nice and easy. It's got a nice colored screen on it and stuff like that. So be paying attention to this. I will do a video on it, and the parts are readily available on Amazon and stuff. And then of course I had to do my little bumpers here and make me a little case for it, so that when I put it in my bag, it's not getting all scratched up. All right. Now the Zero. All right. So the neat thing about this is does the same thing as this. It does the same thing as the 7-inch, but it's so small and so light. And all you end up doing on one of these, and again, I will do a video on this, and you'll be able to follow on and do one for yourself, or is this the right one? Yep. Follow on for yourself, or if you wanted to, I could knock one out for you. So that is your power, right? And so you can do something like I would make this nice. I would use a zip tie or something like that. But you could do something along the lines of this. Right? So you can get it out of your way. And so as long as your goggles are on, so is your pie. And then you have a micro HDMI coming out of here. Coming out of here into your external monitor, or if it's not your external monitor, it's going straight into the broadcasting trailer for live broadcast. It's the most streamlined Cosmo streamer you can do. One cable one cable from your goggles providing power, and then an HDMI cable from here into the production trailer or into any monitor that you have, and that's it. It's that simple. That's what I used to do on my G2s, right? So the G2s, and you can get a good look there at how. Let me get an overhead. Let's see. All right, you can get a good look right there on how I used to mount it. Right? So I can swap batteries. And that goes right there. And I'd use some nylon screws, and that would hold it in there. And one cable here, power over USB-C, and then one cable out to TV. The problem, there's a challenge. So the G2s, the USB-C port provides enough amperage to power the Pi Zero. Not a problem. Little red cable, powers on, stable, perfect power supply. The goggles are the perfect power supply for the Zero. On the G3, the USB-C port does not provide enough amperage. It's unfortunate. I was disappointed. And it breaks my heart, honestly. It breaks my heart because it's such the perfect for something professional. If you're not using the remote from DJI, you can slap this on, and you're not buried with a bunch of wires and stuff like that, or tethered from here to this monitor, and from that monitor to over here to the trailer, and you just things you can trip over. This was just on your head the whole time, ready to go. You may want 2 pairs of goggles so that you can just charge up one pair while the other one. If you're doing it for work, 2 pairs of goggles is necessary anyways. You should never have 1 pair of goggles if you're trying to do work in the first place. So that's not a big deal. So I went on the search, and I found this little dude. It's 10,000 mAh. It's lightweight. It's ergonomically, it's smooth and stuff like that. It's not as annoying as some of the other things out there. This little guy provides enough amperage, and I think it was like $20. But now you have to run a cable from this into your Zero. And so like this is going to be in your pocket. We're back to those days, unfortunately. So this is going to be a pocket with the USB-C cable coming out of here to a micro USB cable going in here, same cable, 2 different ends, and then your HDMI cable out. But I'm gonna go over all that and explain it and show you how to build one of these little dudes. I'm just telling you right now though, this is my favorite Cosmo streamer, because although I do like the 7 and the 3-inch and stuff like that, like putting it on a nice screen, a big screen, you could have a I don't have it here. You could have a director's monitor and it'd be broadcasting to it, and you can be holding it and walk around with it, whatever. Tripod, all kinds of it just kind of opens things up. But anyways, I digress. So if you stayed this long, I appreciate it. Again, I'm just rambling. I'm just sharing my hobby. To recap, Happy Father's Day. 1, I'm going to have some more content on my CNC journey. 2, I'll do a video on, oh, wait a minute. We never opened this new one. Because in the pictures, it looks carbon fiber. But you know how Chinese things go. Could look carbon fiber, but it could be just total as fake as hell. But let's see. So kind of recapping, I'll do a video on this. So this runs just under $100. The Drone Saver ran like 120, and I don't know what that pole ran. That pole, I think I'll find out when I do the video on this. I think it was like $80 or something. But this feels very sturdy and stout. I will tell you that. Oh, so it stands 4 foot. So it's 4 foot collapsed. I don't know, man. This looks like a. This looks great. Look at that. It's aluminum up here. So this, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is carbon or plastic, but it's covered in this deal. And there's the bottom. I can get my eyes out there. There we go. Got a rubber bottom. Okay, so it screws down to collapse. Don't fall out. Okay, so it does stop. So it does stop. It's got a looks like quarter 20 on the tip here. So we can 3D print any sort of accessory. The Drone Saver. Okay, so the Drone Saver that I had went about 30 feet. This goes 30 feet as well. This has a little bit more weight to it, but as of right now, it feels more solid. One of the reasons being, the thickness. It's as thick as my pinky on the Drone Saver that I had. It wasn't even this last section wasn't even half this thickness, and the Drone Saver worked for me for about 6 months, and around the 6th month, I'm up there. I got a drone on the tree, and I've got the Drone Saver, and I'm pushing and I'm pulling, trying to get it, shake it loose, or whatever. And 18 inches, 24 inches of the last section broke off. So now it's just a hollow tube at the very end that's really, really small. And there's nothing you can do with it because you can't attach anything to it any longer, and you can't push with it because it's a telescoping pole. All it does is collapse when you push. So in 6 months, the Drone Saver became obsolete for me. It broke. This feels much more. This feels much more durable. I'll just what I'm seeing. I'm gonna have to print some tips. I like that it locks like that. This goes 35 feet. This will reach 35 feet. So stand by for a little video on that as well. So you can see the difference between this painter's pole that I've always been using. See, I got a little hook on here, but it's kind of cumbersome to haul around because it's basically 6 foot long. You can see the difference. So this is going to be much easier to carry around. So stay tuned. So you got that video, Alan Abernathy. If that was your post that you shared with the group with this, thank you. I'm gonna check it out. Cosmo streamer builds, nothing with the Quadmula. I'll keep giving updates on the Dolphin, the drone saver video, and some CNC videos. With that said, I'm out. I'm gonna go eat a steak. Enjoy the rest of my Father's Day. Peace out. Love y'all. Enjoy.